Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we have the H501s, the HUBSAN H501s. Finally got my hands on one of these. This is like the little brother to the H109s, which I previously reviewed. You saw a bunch of flight tests on those, a review, long range test. And I'm still not done with that one, but this one came in and I want to give this one a thorough review. This time it's going to be an unbox, inspection, and setup in this video, and then I'm going to have another video out there which is going to be the flight test, and I'll have that flight test pop up there when that's done. I'll also have it down in the description, so either or you can click on to check out that flight test when it's ready. But today's all about the unbox, inspection, and setup of the H501s. I know I'm a little bit behind on some of my reviews, but this one's going to be good, so it'll be worthwhile. Anyway, the box is just barely fitting in the screen. As you can see, I'm just barely able to fit it in here. I've got my camera all the way back and zoomed out. I probably want to maybe get a different lens on this thing. So if anybody has any advice on a lens to get for like a Canon, this is the Rebel T6i camera I have here. So if anybody has any tips on a good lens for a little bit more of a wide angle close-up, I'd definitely be grateful for anybody who can recommend a lens for this camera. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. I'm just going to flip over the box so you guys can see the back side of it. It's basically just the controller on the back side and nothing really special, just HUBSAN naming on the sides. And so let's go ahead and unbox this thing. This thing's supposed to have a follow me mode, which is cool. Doesn't have a gimbal on this one, but it does have a follow me mode, and it's supposed to be a really good camera. And let's just go ahead and unbox this and see what it's all about. So it looks like GearBest actually threw in an adapter for me. This is probably a Euro version. Disclaimer warning and the actual manual here, which we'll go over in just a sec. Let's go ahead and take everything out of this box here real quick, and then we'll readjust our view. So that's the top plastic cover there, kind of encasing everything. And here is the X4 there. You guys have probably seen this before. I know my review is a little bit late, but here's the gold on white look to it. And we'll inspect this in depth in a little bit. Just want to take everything out of the box. We have 4 propellers on this side and 4 propellers on this side. So great job, HUBSAN, for giving us a full set of extra propellers. Always commendable for any manufacturer that gives a full set of extra propellers, because we all know that that's the first thing that's going to break on a hard crash, usually. Well, not even a hard crash, just an easy crash. Looks like we have a propeller tightening tool here. We'll put that on the side. There's our controller, which will be going more in depth in just a sec. We've got a charger and the charger plug. That's what these two things are here. Okay, so here we are. We got the HUBSAN H501s here in close-up view, and here's everything we got in the box. We got the 8 propellers, the charger. It's basically just a 2S charger. This comes with a 2S battery apparently, so it's just a simple 2S charger with a power plug. Actually, they gave me a US version of the power plug, so I won't be needing that adapter they put in the box. I guess if you are in a different country, that adapter will come in handy, but basically that's the power adapter. And here's the controller. So let's take a look at the controller here real quick. So this is the controller which allows you to do follow me mode, and apparently that's going to mean it has a GPS built into it somewhere. So let's go ahead and quickly go over the controller and see what everything does here. There's no top trigger buttons. We have a left toggle for GPS mode on and off, and we have a right toggle for our return to home feature. We have a start and stop video recording indicated by this video camera, and then we have a start and stop picture mode indicated by this picture camera. And then this is a spring-loaded left stick, so that means that it's going to go into altitude hold if we let off the stick. You can see that we have these two ports on the left, and the manual it's saying the top port here is actually for the HUBSAN video glasses. So if you have the video glasses, you can connect in there. And it's saying the bottom port is of no function, so not sure what the deal is with that. Aileron or roll trim, and then this button here would be the elevator or pitch trim. This one here would be the rudder or yaw trim, and then this one here is going to be the throttle trim. Checking out the right side of the controller, so noting that it is saying in the instructions that the TF card can be inserted into the card plug on the TX or the quadcopter. Recommended the quadcopter. So I'm not sure if it's kind of an either or thing. Maybe you can only record on one or the other. It would be nice if we could record our FPV screen as well as the quadcopter high definition video. We'll have to be testing that also. And then as far as the mini USB plug goes here, it's saying that that's only for programming from the factory, so this will not be in use. So the headless mode basically on this one is the left thumbstick pushing in for half a second. What will happen is you'll hear a couple of beeps and it will go in headless mode, which is basically no matter which way the quad is facing, the head won't matter. So back will always be back towards you, left will always be left, right will always be right, and forward will always be forward, no matter which way the head's facing, and that's headless mode. So going out of that is another click on the left thumbstick. And then you're probably wondering, how do you get into follow me mode? So the follow me mode is the right thumbstick. You're pushing down, you're going to hear a click for half a second, and that's going to put it into follow me mode, where wherever the controller is, the quad is going to track the controller and follow it. So that'll be good for doing some testing in the flight test as well. Keep in mind, HUBSAN says in their manual that this will only work if there's 6 satellites or more in view. So make sure that you check on your screen before you launch that you've got at least 6 satellites if you want that return to home to work accurately. And what I'm finding kind of cool here is, check this out. So this is the transmitter from the X4 Pro, which I recently reviewed, and you actually have the option, it says, to use this. So we could actually just swap this whole controller out. If you also own the X4 Pro, which I do, you can go ahead and bind the X4 Pro transmitter straight to the X4 H501s and use that if you wanted to for your FPV. And this already has the built-in long-range antennas extending out of the controller, so that will give you much better range than the stock controller. You can actually extend the range of this one with the FPV as well and the controller by just drilling a couple holes in the top here and going ahead and extending the antennas out. I've actually already purchased said antennas, so I will be doing a mod on this where you just drill a couple holes, put these in, and extend the FPV and the control antennas out the top for much better control range and FPV range. So I will actually be doing that in an upcoming video on this controller, so stay tuned for that one. And besides the regular base model X4 Pro transmitter, it looks like you can also use that H501s high premium edition controller, which has it has that Android screen built in where you have a touch screen, you can do follow me, waypoints, so that's good to know. And then the last page of the manual here, it's kind of giving us a open top view, which is actually very helpful if you're wondering what it looks like inside without actually taking off the top. You can go ahead and look at this page and see where the ESCs are, how they wire up, how the whole inside kind of looks without even taking off the cover. So that's definitely a good option to have there if for troubleshooting purposes. Anyway, that's the controller, guys. Let me just go ahead and take off this screen protector real quick. Just taking that off, and it looks like we get a pretty decent looking matte finish screen here. Not a super glossy one. It's not going to pick up too much reflection and stuff. So that's actually pretty commendable that it's a slight matte finish. So I like that. So the main event, here it is, the X4 brushless H501s. I know there's been a couple of more reviews out there online, but seeing this thing up close is definitely pretty neat for myself in person. You can see this close-up view of the gold motors here. Really pretty quadcopter with the white and gold. Let me just go ahead and peel that camera screen protector off. So you can see the HUBSAN lettering on the front. So it's basically just a white and gold color scheme. And the lights are going to be there. It's got these silicone little landing gear here on the bottom of the lights. So you're going to be landing on that. Here's the micro SD card insert there. I didn't see one in the box. You're going to have to supply your own micro SD card. These motors, I'm not sure what the kV is on these motors, but I will have a link down in the description so you can check that link and see all of the specs on this guy from the website. So really small and light. Compared to a lot of GPS quadcopters, this thing is really one of the smallest and lightest I've ever seen. So opening up this back compartment, it looks like we have some interesting mini bullet connector plugs. And we're pulling out a 2700 milliamp 7.4 volt 10C battery. So a really light and low C battery, a low current battery basically is what that means. But the thing is with the C rating is the lower the C rating, the much lighter they can make the battery. So this thing is really light. I'm surprised. We have our balance connector here. Not sure if this is going to be able to accommodate anything, any kind of larger battery. It looks like this battery is just gonna make the fit here. Looks like we're not going to be able to put any kind of larger battery in this one. So this is the maximum you're going to get here, and that's probably why they made it 10C, because the craft is so light the way it is that 10C will fulfill the requirements of the craft as far as the amperage goes. So there's our camera. As you can see, this one does not have a gimbal, and I don't believe there's any kind of software stabilization, kind of like the Bebop has, which I currently recently reviewed as well. The Bebop has an interesting camera where it has an algorithm where it takes a large wide angle video and then it actually stabilizes within the camera, within that wide angle. But I don't think HUBSAN has anything like that yet. That would be really cool if they could implement something like that, where it takes kind of a wide angle image and then it will stabilize within that image. That would be so awesome to have something like on this camera. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's the HUBSAN X4 H501s GPS quadcopter. A really elegant look. You can see some venting on top. We got these two vents on each arm for venting of the arms when the props are spinning. Let's go ahead and put on some props real quick. So just like any other quadcopter, you're going to just basically look at the lettering on the arm. So for example, this lettering is, this arm is an A, so we want to make sure that we match that with an A propeller. So here's an A propeller. And just like the other HUBSAN X4 Pro, it looks like these guys are making the top edge spin into the side of the craft, which is different than a lot of the other quads out there. Most quads have the top edge spinning into either the back or the front of the craft, but HUBSAN chooses to have it spin into the side for some reason. Not sure what the theory is on that, but if it works, hey, it works, you know. So again, just matching up the letters on the arms to the letters on the propellers, and matching up a B for a B. You always want to just kind of finger tighten them a little more than how it just spins on, I find, just in case. Alright, so I almost forgot the back of the controller. Popping this thing open, looks like it snaps in nice and tight. Really like that they didn't have any screw there on this one. For some reason the X4 Pro had a little screw attachment on there. So this one pops in nice and tight, so you won't need to put a screw in there. This one takes 4 AA's. You just slide them in. One AA is going to go down inside there, and then one AA is going to go like that. And snapping back on the back cover, nice and easy like that. That thing's not going to come off. I really wish, just to make a note, I know this is pretty obvious, but I really wish that RC manufacturers would just stick with this kind of like good clipping in rear battery door. I mean, you don't need a screw as long as it clips in nice and tight. Why have a screw there? It's just such a nuisance to have in the field, and have a screwdriver to undo the screw. You know, if you don't have a screwdriver, you're pretty much up the creek if you don't have a screwdriver with you and you need to change your batteries. So I really wish that more quad manufacturers would just do a sliding clip kind of situation like this. Just makes sense. Alright, so anyway guys, let's go ahead and boot this guy up. I know I have the props on. You're usually not supposed to boot up with the props, so I'm just going to do it anyway. So I'm going to power up, turning on the controller as well. And you can see those lights blink in there. And here we go. So calibrate compass 1. Looks like it's possibly just like the X4 Pro. Or we're going to spin it like this until it tells us to calibrate compass 2. Okay, so we got some green flashing lights now. And then all we need to do is face it down forward and continue to spin until it says, or until that compass calibration 2 goes out. So just continuing to spin, and there we go. So the green lights went off, and now it's flashing these kind of purple and reddish flashing lights here. And let's see what the screen says. On the screen we've got the controller battery power. It's telling us we do not have an SD card in. It's telling us that the X4 has the battery power there. 7.4 volts. Our roll, our pitch. Yeah, so that's our pitch and our roll. We can see it go up and down. We can see here that we have meters per second speed there. Then we can see our GPS points. So you're going to have our GPS coordinates here, and then we can see which flight mode we're in on the very bottom. You can see that it's an altitude hold now. Probably when I click into GPS hold, and then that would be return to home if I clicked into that, which I'm not going to do right now. So pretty cool. Let's see what the lag time is. Actually, the lag time is pretty good on this one. Not too bad at all. So you could do some fast flying without having to worry about really much lag time at all. So it seems like both sticks to the bottom middle. You see how that thing's armed now. So pretty cool, pretty silent, nice and easy, spinning, armed and disarming to the bottom middle. Or you can also do to the bottom outside, left and right, kind of like the X4 Pro was as well. So you can see that arm and disarm. So either or. Doesn't look like we can really put a bigger battery in it, but we always can have room for another battery like on the bottom or something. If that does actually give us more flight time, I'd be willing to try something like that. Maybe 2 of these X4 batteries hooked in via parallel, and then 1 on the bottom, 1 inside. That might give us almost double the flight time, so we'll have to check that out. And don't forget that the link to this guy here will also be down in the description of where you can pick this up, so be sure to check that out for all the specs and stuff on the website. Anyway, I hope you like this initial unbox inspection and setup, guys. Stay tuned for the flight test. Going to put it through all its paces. Going to try to test out the follow me mode, see what the range is like, and see how the camera behaves and all the flight characteristics. So don't miss that one. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.